I was going through some street games on stream and I came across this one. I guess this is newly released to Microsoft, but it looked really kind of interesting and the artwork looked really amazing, so I thought let's give it a go. So I guess it's more of a visual game, telling a story about this young woman, Florence. I mean, playing this game, I really fell in love with the art. It's really beautiful. And I just liking and retweeting some stuff. You know, I wasn't really expecting this game to kind of grab a hold of my emotions the way it did, but it really did. And it starts off like this. It's kind of really slow and you don't really know what's happening, but I mean, I just kind of pressing numbers here. I don't know what's happening. Just going randomly. But, you know, this game really did hit me in the heart. It's a really beautiful story, and it doesn't go where it doesn't go where you expect it to go, and it's kind of what I loved about it. It's kind of what I hated about it. But I'm not going to give the ending away right now. So, I mean, conversations with your mother never go well, right? I don't know which one to do. This. But it's kind of just the story of Florence and how she evolves, I guess. The story of falling in love for the first time and how, I don't know, how you go from one routine to another, essentially, until she kind of realizes that, you know, it's important to follow her dream. I think that's what I took from this. You know, that heartbreak is kind of part of growing, even though it hurts. It's still an important lesson to learn, and you have to take it and run with it because, you know, good things can come out of it. It's not a very long game. I think it took me about 15 minutes to play this game in total, but I just fell in love with the artwork. Look at the artwork. It's so... This bit really hit me when I realized what this bit meant. You know, there's this woman who's so dissatisfied with her life right now, and she finds this box, and the box is filled with her pictures that she drew when she was 7. You know, when she was full of life and she had dreams and anything was possible. You know, at 7 you can conquer the world and no one can tell you can't. It's kind of something that you look back on when you're in a place that's not where you want to be, and it makes you nostalgic. It makes you sad that you have to grow up and, you know, get adult responsibilities, I guess. But I guess this is just putting shapes on pictures. I mean, the things are never really hard, but sometimes you have to kind of work it out, and it takes a couple of seconds to do that before you can move on to the next one. But, you know, I always get there in the end. This one was kind of weird. They seem to just want way more things on there than needed to be. So I I just went with it. But by this point in playing this game, I really falling in love with it a lot. I think there's a lot to identify with Florence, to be honest. This sense of being in this stationary place where you're just standing still and not doing anything and just doing the same old endless routine day after day, and it never changes, and you have these dreams that you had, but you don't think you can do them because, you know, and you know, she has to give up art for schoolwork, so she's studying, so now we have to do, it's really simple math, I guess, but I think I had to press it. You just have to drag it. So she has to give up those dreams and fun and everything that she loved to do and take on the studying, and suddenly those days are gone and she's kind of on her own, I guess. This bit really hit me because this is just so relatable. And there she is with her friends having fun and they're really close. And this is a theme that carries on, and it carries on with the boyfriend, I guess. I was having trouble figuring out which way to put it, and then I realized you have to wind it that way. And yeah, see. And as time goes by, they drift further apart. And until they're gone and she's on her own. This was really relatable. I think it's relatable to a lot of people. And it was really sad, you know, that we have to kind of grow up in that sense of leaving those things we dreamed out of behind. And you can see now she's having those regrets now, so when later on it's not really, she just kind of needs the courage to take a leap of faith and believe in herself that she can do it. And that, I think, is the whole message of this game. It was released on Valentine's Day, I think, in 2018, officially. I didn't really understand why it was a Valentine's Day story. Yes, there's love in it, but you know, it's not what one would choose as an uplifting love story. It did bring a little tear to my eye, I must admit. I am not a person who cries very easy, but I was rooting for them, okay? She's about to meet him, by the way. She's about to meet Krish. He's a really sweet guy, you know? And what I love about this couple is they're like so good for each other. But I mean, I love this scene. This is a really beautiful scene. Like his music is like calling to her. It's really beautiful. And how the art around them is kind of dulled, but he's bright and vibrant, standing out. I love that. The animation in this game is just far too cute. So you have to put these into focus, and the first time I did it, it was really kind of just trial and error. I didn't really know what I was doing. I think there's a lot of this in this game. Sometimes you just kind of have no idea what you're supposed to do, so you just try random things. But after the first one, you know, you get the gist, and it's easier, and it gets easier and easier. I really want there to be like a sequel to this game, because I don't know, I think there should be. I think there's 3 puzzles like this to do until we can move on with the story. Like I said, this one gets really easy once you do it, and I bought this game because, you know, it just looked really interesting, and the more I read it, the more I read about it, I should say, the more I thought this could make like quite a cool video. It's not really and it really does have a beautiful story and a beautiful message. I love that the romance between Florence and Krish is really pure and authentic, and neither are seen as toxic. And you know, see that a lot. You know, relationships are just dire and awful, but these are just so sweet. I literally fell in love with them so quickly. Everything about them is just so sweet and pure and wholesome. But, you know, this game really does take you on a whole ride of emotions. This is the last one. I think this may have been the easiest. I think. Yeah, I really love games like Assassin's Creed and Grand Theft Auto and games like that, but you know, I also love games like this, ones that tell a story and have some kind of meaning and some context. I really like those kind of games. They're a nice break from games like, you know, Skywalker and Assassin's Creed, which probably is my favorite game. I don't know, maybe. I also love Red Dead Redemptions. That's probably on my list of favorite games. So yeah, look at the animation on this. The artwork is just, it's just so beautiful, and it's simplistic and sweet, but First date, people. Yay. She has a first date. She's blushing. Aren't they so sweet? I love also the diversity used with these characters. I mean, it's kind of really easy to go more usual, to have like, you know, the usual white type characters. But with these characters, we've gone completely away from that tradition. I don't know, I enjoyed that. And the nods to Krish's religion are really subtle, but I liked it. We haven't got there yet. It gets sweeter at that point, and then you know, your heart breaks. It's not fair. If they don't do a sequel to this, I can just make up in my mind what happens afterwards. So we're going on further into the date. I really love these bits as well, where they kind of stand out more than everybody else. I'm probably going to say this about 1,000,000 times, but the artwork in this game just made me fall in love with it utterly. From the first second the game started, I just fell in love with it. It's beautiful. These bits kind of get a bit annoying after a little while. It's they're featured prominently throughout the whole of the story. When they converse, when they argue, they are used. I just love this artwork so much. Count how many times I say that. It's beautiful. Yeah, here we go again. There's a lot of these in this game, and it really does get kind of annoying after a little while. That's the only negative I would say about this game. But that's just because I found it annoying, you know. Just because I found it annoying doesn't mean anybody else would find it annoying, so... I think there are 7 acts in this, in the story, if I'm remembering correctly. This art is just really beautiful. That's what I took away from this game. We're going into Act 3 now. The chapters aren't very long. This is a wholesome chapter. This one is. I love this chapter. They're at this point where they meet someone where they can tell their... I'm trying to scroll down because usually it's scrolling down, but we have to scroll up. So he's telling her his dreams. So that, you know, you meet someone who you can tell your dreams and they listen and encourage and want the best for you with all of their heart. I don't know, this was touching. This was And I love that, like, at this point, like, you can think, oh, he's just talking about himself. I love that later on, in a little bit, in a little while, he's going to encourage her to live her dream too. She's finding her boxes again, she's pulling up the art, but this time she sees something different. That's her dream. I think sometimes you have to meet somebody who is a little bit like-minded, I guess, to bring out your own ambitions, I guess, maybe. I don't know. This bit is so sweet. His room is a tip. But he has to clean it up so that he can impress Florence. So we're cleaning it up right now, hiding those socks. Everything is going under the bed. Closing those drawers, arranging those trainers, fixing those blinds. Has to look like it's normal. I really had no idea what I was supposed to press because I already pressed the action figure and nothing happened. So, duh. And what does she find? A student application. And he's like, he's unsure. But Florence makes him go. I guess the moral of the story is, at this point, is find someone who pushes you to be better, even if it means going out of your comfort zone. And she drew him. I just think this is such a heartwarming, sweet tale of two people, two sweet people. I didn't know what to do with this bit either, but we're supposed to shake it. I'll find out in a second. See, we shake it. This has relevance later, towards the end of the story. She met the family. I don't know why that excited me. She meets his friends. It's a big deal, peeps. It's a big deal. It's absolutely a big deal. But it kind of has to be. We're going to Act 4. We are going to encounter their first fight. And apparently they have their first fight at the grocery store. What did they fight over? I have to wonder. No, I will not eat more vegetables. See, we have more of this, but at least we don't have to do crushes this time. But it's still kind of... this is still kind of annoying. And the more you have to do, the more annoying it is. In a minute, this is going to switch up and it's going to be faster, and it's like you have to work against the computer. I was a bit too slow because I had no idea it was a race, and then I couldn't catch up. So I think that means Florence lost the first round, but... oh, here we go. See, I had no idea. And I was way too slow. I mean, this is way too fast. Way too slow. Like, the computer even slows down as well, but it was still too fast. The simplistic sketching of this scene, I just really love it. Oh, there's the first fight over. Oh, aren't they so sweet? 6 months later. Moving in. He's moving in, guys. He's moving in. This is a huge deal now. So this was a really cute part where you just have to kind of unpack his things and put things into storage, and I had no idea which ones to keep, which ones to throw away. And you can just put some stuff into storage, the ones that don't fit, because there's only a certain amount of space, even though it looks like there's lots more. Okay, so I decided to put his toaster away. You know, she doesn't have a spice rack, a spice rack thing. I've forgotten what it's called, though. So the pestle and mortar, she doesn't have one of those either, and they're always really handy to have. There's like not much room for what you need to keep, despite the fact that there's like a lot of space by the side of the microwave there. So she has one of those, so I decided to put that one in storage. I don't get the ketchup up, I guess. So, and I don't know what they were, but they may be important. And the coffee maker thing, you know, there was no room for it, and it's not good for you anyways. So I decided to, yeah, put it in storage. I was looking for every single space if I could keep it, but you know, and it's so cute that he only has a toothbrush. She has these pills and lotions and and he just comes with a toothbrush. This is a really cute bit. Try to be kind of fair and making it half and half, but it was really difficult because there's no room, you have to take stuff away. So there's the nod to his Hinduism. So I decided to obviously keep that because, and skateboard because, they went on a skateboard date. I thought skateboards would be important, I was really indecisive on this. What to keep, what to throw away. The dude likes cricket, But I thought, had they shown us he likes cricket? Had they? So I guess we, keep in some things, but a lot of the books have to go, which, as a book lover, broke my heart, but we do crazy things for love, right? I mean, I've heard, I'm perfectly level-headed. I wouldn't know. So we put some books in there. I thought it's kind of a good place to put the picture of his family right next to the picture of Florence and her mother. And we had no room for anything else, which sucked. Because we have all those records and we have nothing to play it on. So we also got rid of the action figure. Don't ask me why. His cello's there, so that's the most important. And everything is happy and perfect with the world. This isn't gonna last, right? I had this horrible feeling that it wasn't gonna last, but I told myself that was just my pessimism. And that, some people have happy endings. So I love this bit. He's encouraging her dream too. Eat the strawberries first. And now she's not spending her commute to work just randomly on social media, liking and retweeting, reposting other people's lives. She's living in her own. She doesn't live vicariously through other people anymore. She's happy. And she's happy in work. And everything gets done faster. And they cook together. And it's all lovely and sweet. And this happiness and this bliss can never, ever end. Right? Right? Oh, and he's playing and she's drawing him. That really is the artist's dream, Find someone who will let you draw the beauty in them that you see. Okay, Act 5, routine. And this is where we see things start to fall apart. We have this full cycle. This is when it starts to get really sad. I hope that things would turn around and, couples counseling. No. It's really, I really love the music on these bits as well. They really add to the story. But it's kind of interesting that, something that made her happy, something that made him happy no longer does. That it's just routine now. Her mom's really strange. She's living with her boyfriend and she's still wanting to hook her up with other dudes. This kind of made me wonder whether Florence had told her mother about Krish, or whether her mother just didn't think Krish was good enough and wanted to find somebody who was. I began wondering if that put a strain on things. I was reading far too much into this. Yes, I know, but I was desperate for them to work it out. Send the mother away. Things get really, really bleak from this point. Well, for a little while. I love that it kind of takes you through the whole cycle of, from being excited, feeling alive, and then that also becomes routine. And then, you have the feeling of the newness, I guess, maybe wearing away. And even the most loveliest people sometimes weren't meant to be. I don't know. Some people can work things out, I guess, but others cannot. I love also how they put his music as like a symbol, and the paints he bought her are hidden now under work and shit. Like, forgotten. Like life got in the way, I guess. And that's a symbol for these two. That life got in the way and they let it, maybe. And see the color of the... We're onto red now. Even when they fought during their first fight, it was never like this. But this is just deep red now. Anger. Because it's just too much, I guess. His replies become faster. I'm still the same. I kind of got the gist of this and he didn't win so easily this time. But, dudes, couple counseling, go to couple counseling. The classic depressed shower scene. At this point, I was emotionally devastated and I couldn't think properly, so at this point my puzzle skills, although extremely easy this picture is, it's just non-existent because I was broken. and I was a mess. I'm not even exaggerating that much, in that when you first play this game, it does grip your emotions. I'm watching it back now to do the voiceover, and it's still sad to me, but obviously it's not as bad. But the first time you play it, it really does grip your emotions. Because I think maybe we're used to happy endings, especially in you know, TV and films and things. But I always say I don't really like happy endings because they're so cliche. But yeah, when I like something and there isn't a happy ending, I get very sad. I'm a walking contradiction. This one is a strange kind of puzzle that the pieces just drift away, and I guess that's meant to happen because no matter how much that they want to stay together, it's just not working and they need to be apart. And maybe they can at least stay friends, right? Hopefully. Like I say, in this, I hope there's a sequel and they realize their dreams and realize that, there's only one person for them. That's my hope anyway. Again, this is a Valentine. This was out on Valentine's on iOS, I think. Can you imagine playing this on Valentine's Day? Especially if you're single or just split up with someone. I'm very glad I didn't play this on Valentine's Day. See, the more you put the pieces together, even when they fit, they just fall apart. They just feel somebody slipping away, I guess. Oh, here we go. So we have to, after I initially refused to unpack anything of his, I realized that if I needed to finish the game, I had to help him move out. And although it broke my heart to do it, I helped him move. I put all of his things in his box. I don't know where he's gone. Back to his parents, maybe. Florence didn't go after him. The skateboard's gone. Every little bit. And it really was really sad packing it away. I can't explain it. Close the box. And she's alone again. You see, I told you there was a relevance to this. We put it together and now we have to destroy it. And I think this is the last. No, this is not the last act. I don't think. There really is 7 acts. So this act is her kind of dealing with him gone. And he's gone completely. And I don't know, this seems to be a strange analogy that, she has a missing piece now, which is something she had in the beginning as well. But then she met Krish and then she didn't have it anymore. But she's used to doing everything with him, and now she doesn't have him, so she looks there and he's not there. So she actually calls her mom, because she's been very helpful in the past. I guess she's kind of confiding in her. And this was so sad. Actually letting go. So that there's some point where she carries on walking and he just completely dissolves. It's really sad. This kind of reminds me like a French noir movie. In that they take you to, happiness, and then they bring you back down again. But the whole point wasn't a love story about, happy ever after. It was a story about first love. And ultimately, Florence finding herself, which I think is a really important message, and it's a really beautiful one as well, because at this point she brings out the paints that he gave her. And she begins to paint. And paint. And paint. Who calls their cat Loaf? So she opens a store online to sell her art. And suddenly she's beginning to live those dreams, and she's succeeding. And the job isn't quite something she needs anymore. This one was... At this point I was a wreck. I mean, I'm not even gonna... This story really really hit me somewhere. I don't know, maybe for where I am in my personal life, maybe, I don't know. Maybe other people have felt the same when they've played this story, I don't know. But she's moving on. This job, she's decided to give it up and put her whole self into art. So, and this bit kind of puzzled me, and it gave me hope. But she finds this picture under the keyboard, and what does she do with it? Does she rip it up? Does she put it in the bin? No. She puts it in the box to keep. And that kind of, I don't know, it sent me mixed messages, I guess. I don't really keep pictures of my exes, so I don't really know. Dare I hope that when both have kind of matured and done more stuff, there's a chance one day they'll meet. So it's the opening of her gallery exhibit, and there's all her works in display, and people pay in to see her stuff, art that she created. I don't know, we never really know what happens to Krish, so, which kind of, again, he was a big part of the story. He was a big part of Florence's journey. I don't know, maybe there will be a second one, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being hopeful. And there's Loaf. Again, who calls their cat Loaf? And she's happy. Because I guess she found herself. And that's the end. Like, that game is a real ride, a real roller coaster of emotions that you identify with so much that it just grabs you. The storytelling, although simplistic, there's never any, there's hardly any dialogue at all. It's all done in pictures, and it's so brilliantly done. It grabs a hold of you, and it just doesn't let go. It's a really amazing game, and the storytelling is just, it's beautiful. So I'm going to go and recover from that because wow. And I hope you like the game. So see you.